Hello, everyone. Welcome to an emergency episode of the Dubs Talk podcast brought to you by Mancini Sleep World with Monte Poole and Dalton Johnson. I'm Kerith Burke. The big news is LeBron James did not choose the Warriors. He's going to the Sixers on a deal reportedly worth $8 million over 2 years. That last year is a player option. So how about some massive news on a Friday, Monte Poole? What was your initial reaction to LeBron going to the Sixers?
Well, it sort of lets us know what his priority is. He's going to a team that's going to compete for a championship. I mean, Joel Embiid is, former MVP, Tyrese Maxey, multiple All-Star, VJ Edgecombe, really good young player. And Jaylen Brown, former Finals MVP, was just acquired there earlier this month. So you're now looking at a situation where LeBron has an excellent chance to win, not one, not two, his fifth NBA championship. Best starting five in the league, probably. Certainly up there. And Bob Myers, former Warriors general manager, was it 2 weeks ago? But he said, hey, LeBron, Mike Gantry, the general manager in Philly, and that roster, I think, they were all combinations in closing this deal because LeBron wants to go where he can be a winner, have a good chance to play, as Steph likes to say, meaningful basketball. So Warriors, Cavs, Heat, all the other contenders fell aside because the Sixers are the team and it's a good fit.
Yeah, Dalton, your first reaction?
Just surprised that it was Philadelphia, to be honest with you. I think that, as Monty mentioned, they're going to be NBA champion caliber team right away. We're going to see them as probably the favorites in the East. I think they're a great team on paper. I still thought that it was going to come down to the Warriors, the Cavs, or the Heat. You thought that you saw the familiarity, obviously, with the Cavs and the Heat, the infrastructure that the Heat have. We know that the storybook ending that it would have been in Cleveland. And then, of course, we know that the sway that Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, the allure that was there for the Bay to be closer to home. But as Manny mentioned off the top, we clearly saw what LeBron James's main goal was, and it's to go for that fifth ring, to chase that championship, and then maybe to do it somewhere else. It would be 4 different franchises now that he could win a championship with. This is still going to take a lot of time to get used to. Seeing that in a Philadelphia 76ers jersey, still just kind of waking up to it that this is a reality, that he is a Philadelphia 76er.
All right, LeBron said a few things on Twitter as well, because I'm sure you guys saw this. This was a big decision he was trying to convey for himself, for his family. He said, I thought I was done when the season ended. I wasn't ready to announce it, and I knew I needed some time to really decide, but I was pretty sure I played my last game. Side note, guys, I got a little bit of Steve Kerr in here. Remember that big story in the offseason about whether Steve Kerr was going to return? Yeah. But as these guys continue, LeBron is saying, I truly love this game. I have more to give. And it's all in service of winning another championship. Okay, so LeBron made this big decision. It actually kind of reminded me of, how does Steph Curry feel right now? I'm sure he wants to win another championship as well. By the way, please note, thank you, Miami, or thank you, LA. Miami, I'll love you forever. Northeast Ohio will always be home. So those are 3 places that LeBron has played. But I also feel like he didn't mention the Warriors. He didn't mention, wow, it would have been cool to play with Steph. None of that. It was like the Warriors weren't even in his thinking necessarily. What was your read on whether the Warriors ever really had a real chance of landing LeBron?
Well, to me, it all laid with whatever recruiting pitch Draymond and Steph and possibly Steve could arrange. And, the Warriors had a chance because they're in California. And LeBron talked about how important it was to be near his family. And that's the reason why you think he's not playing for LA, the Lakers. He's not going to the Clippers. He ain't going to the Kings. So you got to figure, if you're the Warriors, that, hey, the fact that we are, a 45-minute flight from home gives us a shot. Draymond laid the groundwork by opting out of his contract, opened that financial door. He recruited LeBron. Steph reached out. So I think they were hoping that their brotherhood, because LeBron has talked about playing with Steph, and how much fun it would be. Perfect basketball. We all know that Draymond is one of his best friends. And so I think the Warriors thought we have a shot for those reasons. But when you look at LeBron, the chance to win a championship obviously trumps that out.
Yeah, I think that's the Steph Curry, the Draymond Green factor. We're very real for sure, but then it's also the fact that it's bringing back a 37-win team whose second best player is coming off of a torn ACL. I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to be real about what the rosters are, right? We mentioned that off the top. Look at the starting five that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to throw out there right now is nasty. It's scary to think about with Maxey and Edgecombe and LeBron and Jaylen Brown and Joel Embiid. Like at least on paper, guys, at least in a video game, that sounds like a pretty dang good starting five. Again, we need to see how all the pieces connect with just one ball. But that's a lot of talent, and it's also the ages of the talent. Jaylen Brown in his prime, where Tyrese Maxey in his 20s, VJ Edgecombe, second-year guy. I mean, yeah, we understand that there are the injury history of Joel Embiid, but the injury history of people that's 36, 37, 38 years old, like Steph, like Draymond, like Jimmy Butler coming off his injury as well, too. And, of course, it hinges on pursuing a championship. Why else would he choose the Philadelphia 76ers? It's not just trying to find another story somewhere else and get a statue next to Rocky up on the steps. No, it's for a championship. We understand that, but it's the reality of the rosters, and it's the reality of the Jaylen Brown move. We've talked about it ad nauseum this offseason, is you've looked at all the different pieces moving around, whether it's Giannis going to Miami, Kawhi going to Toronto, or Jaylen Brown going to the Celtics. I believe a big move like that had to happen first for LeBron to be swayed. LeBron is not in Philadelphia without Jaylen Brown being traded to Philadelphia. It's that pure talent move that shows we are all in. And I think that is the bigger deciding factor right now. And I think that's probably the frustration of the fan base as well.